Okay, hello and good afternoon from sunny, warm Bangkok. We are alternating back and forth some days, it seems, between the very hot season and rainy season. I see a little bit of clouds on the horizon. That's not a metaphor for all of you, I hope. So this is 510K and the Reckoning Part 8. My name is David Lawrence. I am a Illinois licensed attorney at law, living and working here in Bangkok since 2010. My relevant experience being many moons ago working at the EPA, which is another large administration with a long memory and history of enforcement, and also working for the largest medical glove manufacturer here in Thailand, where I was responsible, among many other things, for their FDA stuff. Okay, so this series has the main point of this series is to try to figure out what the FDA is going to do and who is going to be impacted by what they do when they start their marathon towards righting the perceived wrongs, which are people who imported on dodgy 510Ks, people who manufactured garbage and put it in boxes and tried to slip it through under a 510K, people who did many things, okay? Even people who believe they are innocent will still get caught up in this dragnet. You can go back to a few parts to see why I believe that, and I don't think I'm wrong. But you know what? If I am, please let me know, because I would like it not to be true in some ways. Okay, but I'm focused on the little guy, because the big players can handle whatever gets thrown their way, right? It's the little guys who have an entrepreneurial thing, who just get into the business without quite knowing what's going on, and it gets more and more complicated, and then all of a sudden they listen to somebody like me saying that you're gone, and so that's a problem. So what about the little guy? Well, first of all, what do we think the FDA is going to do? Well, first of all, I'm pretty sure they're going to audit the database, because this exploit is well known. So what they could do is say anybody who registered in the database after January 2020 is hereby stopped from selling medical devices in the US. Similarly, anyone who applied for a 510K after such and such a date, stopped. How do they stop you? Well, they can flat out ban you. Or if they're not super concerned and they think you're trying to do the right thing and you've done quality product, they can DWPI you, which means every container that you or your establishment or your facility, anything related to you, sends into the US, they will detention without physical inspection. That is a pain in the keister, from what I hear. I've never dealt directly with that, but that slows down all of your delivery times and whatnot. And then to get off the DWPI list, you've got to perform at a certain level over a certain period of time. And really, you don't want to be there. For the little guys, the on-the-ground distributors in the US, I'm hoping and I'm thinking, but I have no information on this, so I'm not promising or really hard actually believing, but hoping that they'll develop an amnesty program, which will mean that if you believe you have imported a misbranded device and you're a little guy doing a such and such a volume, tell us and we'll work it out. There may be some fine or some penalty, but you'll have no other consequences. So that would be my hope.